For thousands of years, we looked up, asking if we were alone, but maybe the real nightmare isn't that we haven't found them, it's that they haven't found us. The scariest thing in space isn't aliens. What if the scariest thing in the universe isn't aliens, not an invasion fleet, not a monster hiding behind the moon, not some hostile civilization watching us from the dark? What if the scariest thing is that no one is watching at all? For decades, movies have taught us to fear what might come from space. UFOs, alien ships, strange creatures, a signal from the stars. That means something is coming, but maybe we've been afraid of the wrong thing, because the universe doesn't need monsters to be terrifying. Its silence is enough. Look up at the night sky. It looks calm, peaceful, almost comforting. Tiny stars scattered above us, like little points of light, but that peaceful sky is lying to you. Many of those stars are giant nuclear furnaces burning at temperatures the human body could never survive for even a fraction of a second. Some are so massive that if you place them in the middle of our solar system, they could swallow the orbits of entire planets. And the planets out there, many of them are not beautiful blue worlds waiting to be explored. Some are burning hellscapes, some are frozen wastelands, some are crushed by gravity, some are blasted by winds faster than sound. Some may have rain made of metal, glass, or chemicals so violent that the word weathered almost feels too gentle. And here's the unsettling part. None of this is science fiction. These are real places, real cosmic records, real worlds inside a universe that does not care whether we understand it or not. Science has allowed humanity to see farther than any generation before us. Telescopes have looked deep into space. Probes have left Earth behind. Satellites have measured light from worlds we may never reach. And every time we look farther, we learn something incredible, but we also learn something uncomfortable. Earth is not the center of anything. Our solar system is a speck. The Milky Way is one galaxy among countless others, and humanity is living on a tiny rock, floating through a darkness so large that our minds were never built to hold it. But then comes the question that makes this mystery so hard to ignore. If the universe is this big, why has no one answered us? That question is one of the most disturbing mysteries in modern science. Maybe there are billions of Earth-like planets out there. Maybe life has appeared many times. Maybe civilizations have risen under alien skies, built cities, looked up at their own stars and asked the same question we're asking about now. Or maybe they're gone. Maybe they never made it. Maybe they're too far away. Or maybe in all this endless darkness, we are truly alone, and that kind of loneliness is hard to describe. It is not like being alone in a room. It is like the entire human species standing on the shore of an infinite black ocean, shouting into the dark and hearing only our own echo come back. That is where the fear begins, not just from what might be hiding out there, but from what the silence says about us. Because humans want to believe we matter. We want to believe there is a reason. We want to believe the universe is leading somewhere, that behind the darkness, there is an answer waiting, but the universe does not rush to comfort us. It keeps expanding, it keeps moving, and it leaves us with questions. So tonight, we are opening one of the strangest case files in the cosmos. Why does the universe feel more terrifying the quieter it becomes? And by the end, the answer may not only change the way you look at space, it may change the way you look at being alive. Why has no one answered? Imagine waking up inside a massive building. You do not know how you got there. You cannot see the walls. You cannot see the ceiling. You cannot find the exit. All you have is a flashlight, so you turn it on. The beam cuts through the darkness. Then you call out, nothing. You call again, still nothing. At first, you tell yourself, the building must be empty. But then you see something on the floor, scratches, old marks, something left behind, and suddenly the silence changes. It is no longer just empty space. It becomes a question. Was someone here before me? That is what the universe feels like. For thousands of years, humans have looked up and asked one question: are we alone? That question once belonged to myths, religion, and science fiction. Today, it belongs to science because the numbers are hard to ignore. Our galaxy alone holds hundreds of billions of stars. Many of them have planets. Some may sit in the habitable zone where liquid water could exist. And water matters because every life form we know depends on it. Now, zoom out. The Milky Way is not the whole universe. It is one galaxy among countless others. So if there are so many stars, so many planets, so many chances, where is everybody? That question is called the Fermi Paradox. And it is frightening because it does not begin with danger. It begins with absence. No confirmed alien signal, no message from another civilization, no undeniable proof that someone else is out there, just silence. And that silence opens several doors. Maybe life is incredibly rare. Maybe Earth was never normal. Maybe it took an almost impossible chain of perfect conditions for life to appear here. The right star, the right distance, the right atmosphere, the right chemistry, the right amount of time. Change one detail, and Earth becomes just another dead rock. If that is true, then life is not common. It is a candle burning in a storm. Or maybe simple life is common, but intelligent life is rare. Maybe the universe is filled with microbes, hidden under ice, or floating or in alien oceans. But minds that build cities, send signals, and ask questions may be much harder to create. For most of Earth's history, there was no one looking at the stars, no one asking why. So maybe life appears often, but minds like ours do not. The darker possibility is that civilizations appear, but they do not last. Maybe they build cities, maybe they invent machines, maybe they send signals into space, and then something happens. War, collapse, disaster. Technology they could create, but could not control. If that is true, then the silence of space may not mean no one was ever there. It may mean they went quiet long before we could hear them. And this is where the mystery becomes personal, because we know this kind of silence, a message with no reply, a person who leaves without explaining why, a future that refuses to show itself. The human mind hates silence because silence forces us to imagine the answer, and most of the answers are terrifying. Maybe that is why the silence of the universe feels so deep. We are not just asking, is anyone out there? We are asking, and do we matter? We want another voice to answer. We wanted to say, you are not alone, but maybe before we hear another civilization, we have to learn how to listen to each other. Because right now, Earth is the only home we know has life, the only world we know has oceans, forests, memory, music, love, and fear. So while the universe remains silent, maybe the lesson is not despair. Maybe the lesson is attention. If no one has answered from the stars yet, then the voices closest to us matter even more. The universe is silent, but not empty. Here is the strange part. The universe feels silent, but it is not still. Right now, while you are hearing these words, stars are being born inside clouds of gas, larger than entire solar systems. Planets are orbiting, suns we have never seen with our own eyes. Black holes are pulling matter into darkness. Galaxies are colliding in slow motion across millions of years. From Earth, the night sky looks frozen, but that is an illusion. Space is not calm. It is just too far away for us to feel the chaos. Even the stars you see tonight are not being seen in real time. Their light may have traveled for years, centuries, or even millions of years before reaching your eyes. That means when you look up, you are looking into the past. Some stars in the sky may already be dead. They may have exploded long ago. They may have collapsed. They may no longer exist in the form you are seeing, but their light is still traveling, still arriving, still touching Earth like a message from a place that has already changed forever. And that changes the entire question of alien life, because space is not just big, it is slow, painfully slow. If a civilization had lived 1,000 light years away and sent us a signal, that signal would take 1,000 years to reach Earth. If we replied, they would wait another 1,000 years. One conversation could take longer than the rise and fall of entire empires. So maybe the universe is not silent. Maybe the message just has not arrived yet. Or maybe it passed by before we knew how to listen. Or maybe we are listening for the wrong thing. That may be the most important part. Humans search for life based on what we understand. We look for water, oxygen, carbon, planetary atmospheres that look familiar. That makes sense. Earth is the only example of life we have. But what if alien life does not follow Earth's rules? What if it does not breathe oxygen? What if it lives beneath ice, inside oceans, buried under miles of frozen crust? What if it communicates in ways we cannot recognize? What if it leaves no cities, no radio waves, no obvious signal? Then maybe the universe is not empty. Maybe we are just not advanced enough to notice what is already there. Think of an ant crawling through a library. The ant is surrounded by information, books, language, stories, history, knowledge, but to the ant, it is all just surfaces and shadows. The library is not empty. The ant simply cannot read. Maybe humanity is like that. Maybe we are crawling through a cosmic library surrounded by pages we do not yet know how to open. This idea is unsettling, but it is also humbling, because not every silence means absence. Sometimes silence is just a language we have not learned yet. And that is true in human life too. Sometimes a person cares about us, but not in the way we expected. Sometimes an opportunity arrives, disguised as difficulty. Sometimes the answer is not loud. It appears quietly, slowly. Through patterns we only understand later. The universe may be doing the same thing. It does not explain itself. It does not comfort us. It simply exists, vast, cold, beautiful, and filled with layers of mystery we have barely begun to understand. And still, we keep listening. We build better telescopes. We scan the sky. We name distant worlds. We send questions into the dark. Maybe we will not be the generation that finds the answer, but we are part of the generation that refused to stop asking. And in a universe this large that may already be something extraordinary. If life exists, why is space so quiet? The more we study space and the stranger the silence becomes. On one side, the universe seems full of possibility. Hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy, planets around many of them, some worlds in zones where liquid water forms might exist. Countless more galaxies beyond our own. The numbers seem to say life should be possible, maybe even likely. But then we look up and the sky gives us nothing certain, no confirmed message, no undeniable signal, no proof of another civilization. That gap is where the fear lives, because if there is no one out there, then we may be unbelievably rare. But if someone is out there, and they are silent, then why? Maybe they are too far away. A signal may be traveling right now, moving across space at the speed of light, but still thousands of years away from reaching us. Maybe another civilization tried to speak long ago, and their message passed Earth before we had radios, satellites, or any way to understand it. If so, the silence is not loneliness, it is bad timing. But there is a darker possibility. Maybe civilizations do not survive long enough. When a species becomes intelligent, it gains power, but power does not guarantee wisdom. A civilization can learn to split atoms before it learns restraint. It can reshape its environment before it understands the cost. It can create machines, weapons, and systems so complex that eventually no one fully controls them. Maybe this is the great filter. Maybe many civilizations reach a certain point and fail to pass through it. If that is true, the night sky may not be empty. It may be full of ghosts, not literal ghosts, but the lost light of civilizations that once existed, once looked up, once wondered about us, and then disappeared. That possibility is disturbing because it reflects back on Earth. We are intelligent enough to reach space, but are we wise enough to survive ourselves? We can detect planets hundreds of light years away, yet struggle to understand people standing right next to us. We can send signals into the cosmos, yet fail to communicate across our own differences. Maybe the silence of the universe is not just a mystery. Maybe it is a warning, but not every theory is hopeless. There is another possibility. Maybe advanced civilizations are quiet on purpose. Imagine walking through a dark forest at night. You do not know what is hiding nearby. Do you shout or do you stay silent? This is the idea behind the dark forest theory. If the universe is full of unknown civilizations broadcasting your location, it may be dangerous. A signal can invite friendship, but it can also reveal where you are. Maybe the oldest civilizations learned this long ago. Maybe they are listening. Maybe they are watching. Maybe they are staying quiet, because that is how they survived. That thought turns the silence into something even stranger. It may not mean no one is there. It may mean everyone is holding their breath. Still, there is one more possibility, a less frightening one. Maybe we are simply searching the wrong way. We expect alien civilizations to use technology similar to ours: radio waves, artificial lights, chemical signatures, signals. We know how to measure, but what if advanced intelligence moved beyond all of that? What if their communication is so different that we would not recognize it as communication at all? What if the answer is already passing through us and we just do not know how to read it? That is why this mystery there is so powerful. It is not only asking, where are they? It is asking, are we ready to understand what we find? And until we are, the universe remains silent, or maybe we remain deaf. If life exists, why is space so quiet? The more we study space and the stranger the silence becomes. On one side, the universe seems full of possibility. Hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy, planets around many of them, some worlds in zones where liquid water forms might exist. Countless more galaxies beyond our own. The numbers seem to say life should be possible, maybe even likely. But then we look up and the sky gives us nothing certain, no confirmed message, no undeniable signal, no proof of another civilization. That gap is where the fear lives. Because if there is no one out there, then we may be unbelievably rare. But if someone is out there, and they are silent, then why? Maybe they are too far away. A signal may be traveling right now, moving across space at the speed of light, but still thousands of years away from reaching us. Maybe another civilization tried to speak long ago, and their message passed Earth before we had radios, satellites, or any way to understand it. If so, the silence is not loneliness, it is bad timing. But there is a darker possibility. Maybe civilizations do not survive long enough. When a species becomes intelligent, it gains power, but power does not guarantee wisdom. A civilization can learn to split atoms before it learns restraint. It can reshape its environment before it understands the cost. It can create machines, weapons, and systems so complex that eventually no one fully controls them. Maybe this is the great filter. Maybe many civilizations reach a certain point and fail to pass through it. If that is true, the night sky may not be empty. It may be full of ghosts, not literal ghosts, but the lost light of civilizations that once existed, once looked up, once wondered about us, and then disappeared. That possibility is disturbing because it reflects back on Earth. We are intelligent enough to reach space, but are we wise enough to survive ourselves? We can detect planets hundreds of light years away, yet struggle to understand people standing right next to us. We can send signals into the cosmos, yet fail to communicate across our own differences. Maybe the silence of the universe is not just a mystery. Maybe it is a warning, but not every theory is hopeless. There is another possibility. Maybe advanced civilizations are quiet on purpose. Imagine walking through a dark forest at night. You do not know what is hiding nearby. Do you shout or do you stay silent? This is the idea behind the dark forest theory. If the universe is full of unknown civilizations broadcasting your location, it may be dangerous. A signal can invite friendship, but it can also reveal where you are. Maybe the oldest civilizations learned this long ago. Maybe they are listening. Maybe they are watching. Maybe they are staying quiet, because that is how they survived. That thought turns the silence into something even stranger. It may not mean no one is there. It may mean everyone is holding their breath. Still, there is one more possibility, a less frightening one. Maybe we are simply searching the wrong way. We expect alien civilizations to use technology similar to ours: radio waves, artificial lights, chemical signatures, signals. We know how to measure, but what if advanced intelligence moved beyond all of that? What if their communication this is so different that we would not recognize it as communication at all? What if the answer is already passing through us and we just do not know how to read it? That is why this mystery there is so powerful. It is not only asking, where are they? It is asking, are we ready to understand what we find? And until we are, the universe remains silent, or maybe we remain deaf. Maybe we are asking the wrong question. Most people ask, are we alone? But maybe that is not the best question. Maybe the better question is, what kind of universe would make us feel alone, even if we are not? That changes everything, because the silence of space could mean many things. It could mean life is rare. Earth may be a miracle, not because it was created for us, but because so many fragile conditions had to line up for life to survive here. A stable star, liquid water, a protective atmosphere, a magnetic field, the right chemistry, a long stretch of time without total destruction. Remove one piece, and Earth could have become just another. In a lifeless world, that idea is frightening, but it also makes Earth feel precious, not ordinary, precious. Another theory says life may exist everywhere, but intelligence almost never makes it far. For billions of years, Earth had life without technology, no cities, no music, no telescopes, no one asking what the stars were. So maybe the universe is full of living worlds, but very few of them ever produce a species that can ask questions beyond survival. And even if intelligence appears, it may face the hardest test of all. Can it survive its own power? A civilization may reach the stage where it can transform its world. But the same intelligence that builds rockets can also build weapons. The same technology that connects people can divide them. The same hunger that drives progress can also destroy the home that made progress possible. That is why some scientists and thinkers imagine a filter, a dangerous stage that many civilizations may fail to pass. Maybe that filter is behind us. Maybe we already passed the hardest part by becoming intelligent, or maybe the filter is ahead of us. That is the version no one wants to think about, because then the silence of the universe becomes a question pointed directly at humanity. Will we make it? But there is also the possibility that advanced life is careful. Maybe the universe is like a dark neighborhood where every light left on can be seen from miles away. Maybe shouting into space is not courage. Maybe it is risk. If there are civilizations far older than ours, they may not act like explorers in a movie. They may not rush to introduce themselves. They may not reveal their location to a young, unpredictable species like us. Maybe silence is not weakness. Maybe silence is survival. And yet, the most humbling possibility is this: the universe may be full of signs, and we may not be able to recognize them. A person from the 1500s could look at a smartphone and have no idea what it was doing. To them, it might look like a glowing piece of glass. They would not understand Wi-Fi, satellites, digital networks, or streaming video. Now imagine the gap between humans and a civilization a million years older. Would we recognize their technology? Would we even know what to look for? Maybe not. That is what makes the silence so strange. It may not be silence at all. It may be complexity beyond our current perception. And this is where the cosmic mystery becomes deeply human, because in life, we often fear what we cannot understand. We rush to label silence as rejection. We treat uncertainty as failure. We panic when the future does not reveal itself quickly. But sometimes the answer has not disappeared. It is simply not ready to be understood. Maybe humanity is still young. Maybe we are still learning the alphabet of the universe. And maybe the point is not to force an answer from the stars. Maybe the point is to become the kind of species that can handle the answer when it comes. What do we do with the silence after all the science, all the theories, and all the searching? We are left with one honest truth. We do not know. We do not know if life is common. We do not know if civilizations are out there. We do not know if the silence means distance, danger, rarity, timing, or something we have not yet imagined. But the unknown does something powerful. It shows us ourselves. The fear of the universe is not only about space, it is about what happens inside us. When we realize we are small, most of our daily worries feel enormous. When we are trapped inside them, a conflict, a failure, a loss. A fear about the future, but place those worries beside a galaxy, beside a star that has lived on for billions of years, beside a universe so wide that light itself struggles to cross it, and suddenly they shrink, not because they do not matter, but because we begin to see them differently. The universe does not make human life meaningless. It makes it rare, brief, fragile, and because it is fragile, it matters more. Think about where you are right now. You are on a planet where the air is breathable, where water falls from the sky, where sunlight arrives, not too close and not too far, where trees grow. Oceans move, people speak, music exists, and memory can be carried from one generation to the next. That is not normal in the universe. That is extraordinary. Maybe no one has answered us from the stars yet, but Earth is answering us every day in the sound of rain, in the breath, in your lungs, in the voice of someone who knows your name, in the fact that for this brief moment you are here. Humans often search for meaning far away. We imagine that if we could just find the final answer, if we could prove we are not alone, if we could understand the universe completely, then life would finally feel complete. But maybe meaning is not waiting at the edge of space. Maybe meaning is found in how we live. While we do not know, we may not know if another civilization exists, but we know life exists here. We may not know if anyone out there can hear us, but we know people here can. We may not know when the universe will answer, but we know the way we treat this world matters now. That is the quiet lesson hidden inside the mystery. If Earth is a rare light in the dark, then protecting it is not just a scientific responsibility, it is a human one. And maybe what makes a civilization worthy of survival is not how far. It travels, not how many planets it reaches, not how loud it shouts into space. Maybe it is whether it learns to care for the life directly beneath its feet. Because if a signal from the stars ever does arrive, the first question may not be, who are they? The deeper question may be, who did we become while we were waiting? The universe is silent, but we are still here. Maybe the most terrifying thing about space is not its size. Maybe it is not the black holes, dead planets, massive stars, or unknown forces moving through the dark. Maybe it is the feeling that we are calling into something endless, and we do not know if anything can hear us. But silence does not have to mean despair. Sometimes silence is just space, a place to breathe, a place to wonder, a place to become less arrogant and more awake. The night sky does not explain itself, but it remains. The stars do not tell us why they shine, but their light still crosses the darkness and reaches us. And maybe that is enough. We do not need every answer. To live a meaningful life, we do not need to know the full shape of the universe. to understand the value of one day, one breath, one act of kindness, one person we love. You are here on a small planet, under a massive sky, inside a brief moment in cosmic history. And that moment is real. Among countless lifeless worlds, Earth has oceans. Among cold, empty spaces, this world has warmth. Among galaxies too far apart to speak, we can still say someone's name and hear them answer. Maybe the universe has not spoken clearly yet, but Earth speaks quietly all the time. Morning light through a window, rain on a roof, the smell of the ground after a storm, a child laughing, a heart still trying to understand. Why any of this exists, the silence above us may not be a threat. It may be a reminder. We do not know everything, so we should stay humble. We are alive, so we should not waste it. Everything is fragile, so we should be gentle. One day, humanity may find a real signal from another civilization, or maybe we will keep waiting for generations. But either way, one thing is true. Right now, we are the part of the universe that has learned to look back at itself. The atoms in your body were made in ancient stars. The light in your eyes comes from a burning sun. Your breath is protected by a thin atmosphere, wrapped around a small blue planet. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe, briefly awake. So when you look up at the night sky, do not look only with fear. Look with wonder. Wonder that life happened at all. Wonder that consciousness appeared in the dark. Wonder that in a universe that promises us nothing, we can still love, create, forgive, and begin again. The universe may remain silent, but here on Earth, there are still stories being told. There is still rain on rooftop. There are still people looking up, and sometimes that is enough to make the dark feel a little less cold. If you made it this far, then maybe you feel it too. Space is not just full of stars. It is a mirror. It reflects our fear, our loneliness, and our need to know why we are here. We look up hoping for answers, but sometimes the universe gives us a better question. In a cosmos this vast and this silent, how should we live with the short time we have? Maybe there are civilizations out there listening. Maybe signals are still crossing the dark on their way to us. Maybe some worlds once burned with life and are now gone. Or maybe somewhere far away, someone is looking up tonight, wondering if they are alone too. We do not know, and that is why the search continues. If you're drawn to cosmic mysteries, strange scientific truths, and stories that make the universe feel both terrifying and beautiful, subscribe to Strange World Archive. Here, we explore the darker edges of knowledge, where science, mystery, and human reflection meet, not just to scare you, but to help us see Earth with clearer eyes. Before you go, leave a comment. Do you think humanity is truly alone? Or have we simply not learned how to hear the answer yet? And tonight, when the world gets quiet, look up. There may be no answer waiting there, not yet, but one truth is already here. You are alive, you are breathing, you are part of this universe, and the next mystery is only beginning.